account, right? Miami is probably desperate to win now. You know what I'm saying? They want to win, but you see it all the time in sports when teams get desperate. Or I mean, look at baseball. You know what I'm saying? How desperate the Rangers are to be good. They gave over $500 million to two players in their infield. That's how desperate teams are in major sports to win. So if it's like this is what it's going to take to get Tyreek Hill on our team, and Mike McDaniels was probably like, oh my God, he's probably creaming himself knowing that he wants to come to Miami because Mike McDaniel can probably use him like he used Debo.
Welcome in to Stay in Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Kari P, here alongside Howard. How you doing, bro?
What's good? What's good? How y'all doing?
And K-Wall, what's up, my boy? What's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Yo, today has been a pretty eventful day, with the Tyreek getting traded, Baker running out of options, Matt Ryan moving to the Colts. It's been a lot going on, but we're going to start right there. Matt Ryan got traded to the Colts for a third-round pick. How do y'all feel about this?
I mean, it's better than Carson Wentz. I mean, if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, I mean, the problem with Atlanta is, I don't know, Atlanta's cursed. I'll be honest. Because if you look statistically wise, like Matt Ryan, the last 4 or 5 years, ain't that bad. Like he's put up numbers, he's done his job. I mean, there's other things that happen. He did have Julio, he did have weapons around him, but I mean, he's walking into one of the best offensive lines in the league, which was a knock in Atlanta as their offensive line. One of the best running backs in the league, which Atlanta had with Devontae Freeman when they went and made the Super Bowl run. So that's nice. And then, they have Pittman. I don't know what happens with T.Y. I don't know if he stays on a team through, training camp or not, if they finally cut him. But
he's a free agent right now.
They always sign him at the end of they always wait till training camp and sign him to some 1 year, $10 million thing. So I don't know. It's not bad. I mean, do I think he's better than Ryan Tannehill? Yes. Do I think now that they're probably going to win their division? Yes. Do I think they get bounced in the first round when they see any of these other teams? Yeah. So, I mean, they'll win their division, but I don't know. He's not going to win them a Super Bowl. But this keeps them relevant and it helps, the fans, because fans haven't seen anything good since Andrew Luck. So at least they don't have to watch Carson Wentz again.
Yeah, definitely. K-Wall, what you thinking about this move?
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think it was like best available. I mean, yeah, you got to eat a chunk of that salary. I mean, the Falcons got the worst end of it, though. They have 40 million in dead cap they own this year. So, I mean, it is what it is. But there's a stat about Matt Ryan. Since 2016, he leads the league in passing yards and I think something like 2-minute drives or something like that. So, I mean, if I'm Michael Pittman or any of the receivers, I mean, Taylor, I mean, finally you have somebody that can keep you in a game. Because too many times last year you saw down the stretch, they relied on the defense to win them games and keep them in games or whatever like that. And the offense just couldn't get going. Because, I mean, the defenses already know, like, all right, well, he can't sling it, so we're just going to maintain Taylor. Now you have somebody who can actually hit these guys on these routes, and Matt Ryan. His resume speaks for itself. I think his play kind of is saturated because he's been in Atlanta, deteriorating. But, I mean, being on a team that's ready to win now, like Howard said, I don't think they win a Super Bowl, but a competitive team, I think they'll relight that fire in him. And, I mean, he's 36. I mean, he's still got some good years left, maybe 2 or 3 good years left. I mean, he get the most out of that receiving room, So I think they've had a different quarterback, I think, since Andrew Luck left every year since he left or since he retired. So, I mean, I think Matt Ryan does stick, though. I mean, because he's not a guy that you're going to look into next year like, all right, this guy's trash. We got to cut him. Because, I mean, the talent's still there. You know what I'm saying? He still put up numbers last year with Pitts, Patterson, and no Calvin Ridley. So,
yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, I think it's a great move because Matt Ryan is still, I feel like he's in that 15 to 18 range, somewhere in that when it comes to top quarterbacks. And
15 to 18?
He probably somewhere around that.
10 to 15, man. What?
10 to 15, it gets shaky. Anywhere in between that's where it gets shaky. But I feel like he's somewhere in there.
Let's just say he's top 20 for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
that's not hard.
So when you get Matt Ryan, that will help Jonathan Taylor a lot more. That'll help Pittman more because now you got a quarterback that you can actually run play action with. You got a guy that you ain't really scared of in them late moments, holding on to the ball too late. Because that was the thing about Carson Wentz. He'll always hold the ball before launching. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's a great move for the Colts. Do they win their division? It get kind of shaky there. Because they're in that division with the Titans, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
so my thing is when it comes to y'all, I feel like Howard. I'm not gonna say Howard. I feel like you're not putting enough respect on Derrick Henry and things Derrick Henry can do.
He could do a lot, but I mean, he's getting older, and like everyone's starting to figure out, that offense. They figured out Ryan Tannehill. I mean, the joke is out on him. And their defense, I mean, can you name right now one of their starting corners? Except for that guy they drafted last year. That one guy they drafted. Their defense is sus.
Their defense
I don't know how sus it is.
Yeah,
that front seven is that you should know from first experience. That front seven is nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not their defense. It's not their defense that keeps them in games. It's their offense. And Ryan Tannehill's he's mid at best. But in a team that has A.J. Brown, now Robert Woods, Hooper, Derrick Henry, I mean, it's hard not to succeed in an offense like that. So, I mean, they can score with the best of them with their weapons that they have. You were just talking about A.J. Brown before the show started about how he's a guy who could get paid that kind of money. Well, the only reason why he would get paid that kind of money is because he's an X factor. Yeah. The last show, you're talking about how good Robert Woods is blocking and, gadgety and all stuff like that. He's on that team now, too, with that X factor in A.J. Brown. Hooper, I mean, I don't know. I got to see what he can do over like that, but I doubt he's garbage. The shit doesn't just leave you, And Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. Last year was supposed to be the year that everybody figured him out. If he didn't break his foot, he was on pace for over 2,000 yards rushing. Jonathan Taylor's season wouldn't have been that big of a deal if Henry was playing those last 8 games, So, I mean, I get where you're coming from where, like, the division is possibly a two-man race for real. But I mean, I don't think it's going to be an easy win for either one.
Yeah,
it'll come down to those two for sure.
Yeah,
whose defense do you like better though? Do you like the Colts?
I like Indianapolis. I like Indianapolis's defense. Right. Yes, okay. That's great. But yes, defense wins championship, but they don't score points. You can't rely on your defense.
Do you like?
Which quarter? They're
Ryan.
The same.
Okay.
Look,
this is no. This is the point I'm trying to make, Howard. Yes, they have the better defense. They have the better quarterback. But what position players do you like better? Do you like the ones on the Colts? Because it's really just Jonathan Taylor. Who else on the Colts is
I like their offensive line, and I'm
asking you position players, not the line. Who on that team?
Means a lot. I mean, first,
but that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking who on the team, position players wise, is
obviously Tannehill.
Okay, the offensive line doesn't score any points, right? That you could throw a deep ball to AJ Brown, like we saw with Jamar Chase. You could throw it to him, and he could take it to the house. You know what I'm saying? That's what AJ Brown could do. Who on the Colts can do that?
First off,
you're not running the ball effectively.
Taylor's got to have time, and his offensive line, other than that, the one left tackle, I can't even think of his name. The frat boy, what's his name?
Who, Lawan?
Yeah, but he's not.
And he was getting cooked last year, and that's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a wash. Whoever wins,
no one on the Indy line that's getting cooked. No one on that line is getting cooked. They're all bona fide.
But you saw Tennessee was on the roll before Derrick Henry got hurt. That's when they got a little shaky after Derrick Henry got hurt. Because for Derrick Henry, it allowed you to do a lot more. You could give it off to Derrick Henry, and you like that one game where he's throwing touchdown passes. You could do a lot with Derrick Henry because of the fear of Derrick Henry.
I watched Phillip Rivers beat them. That he should have beat them twice. Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan right now is better than Phillip Rivers was 2 years ago. That's what a competent quarterback does in that offense. Like, I'm sorry, but that defense is.
But let me ask you: Is it really a big difference at Matt Ryan's stage right now between him and Tannehill? Is it really like? So you're telling, yo, Matt Ryan MVP season and all that, yes, but right now at this stage,
I watched Tannehill literally throw the game away from Cincy. I have yet to watch Matt Ryan in
28-3. 28-3.
That's not him. That was coaching. They stopped throwing the ball. They literally ran the ball 3 times and punted. He don't call the plays.
But he does have the power as the captain and the quarterback team to call audibles.
Yeah,
Yes.
you think he's gonna go against a coach that has got him there?
If he feels that's the play that needs to be called, he can. I don't know, but that was years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's years ago. You know what I'm saying? We can't take what he did in the Super Bowl. You know, because they were in the Super Bowl for a reason. Because Matt Ryan, Julio, all them were cooking to get there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I said, Tannehill is mid at best. Yes,
At best.
but when you surround somebody like that around all those weapons, it's hard for you not to fail. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he had Julio and
okay,
AJ
so
Brown last year.
take Kirk Cousins for example, right? Kirk has his days where he look like he's on, and so does Tannehill has them days where he looks like he's on. But Kirk is mid at best, and we addressed it on the podcast all the time. He's like top 15, but he's not in the top 10 though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you put Kirk Cousins with Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. You know what I'm saying? Now he looks a lot better. Usually and that's the point I'm trying to make is Matt Ryan is going to elevate all those position players, right? As where the position players in Tennessee elevate Ryan Tannehill.
But
So that's why I'm saying it's kind of a wash.
But it take them special
You know what
it take them special quarterbacks like the Pat Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers. It takes them guys where they can go anywhere, they could just fit in. Like the good quarterbacks, a lot of them aren't to that level where they could just go anywhere. A lot of them are system quarterbacks. And that's what Ryan Tannehill is at this point. That is what Matt Ryan is at this point. That's Kirk Cousins. That's what all of them are. They're just system quarterbacks.
Oh, Matt Ryan's
and I think for Indianapolis,
they were
I think
asking him to throw the ball 40 times a game still.
I think what Indianapolis is just missing is they don't need like a plane flying over. They don't need like a dynamic like dual threat QB because their line, they like Howard said, they have the luxury of giving a quarterback time. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that time, you can make those throws. Plays can develop. Yeah. So Matt Ryan is a competent quarterback. He can go through his reads, you know what I'm saying? And make throws. That's what they need. They don't need him to go out there and do nothing crazy. Just make throws. And that's why they didn't have a Carson Wentz last year.
Yes, he will do that, right? But my thing is, you're saying Matt Ryan had to throw 40 times a game, but then he's not gonna do that because he got a running back now. In Atlanta, he did not have no running back.
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Well,
Big
Mike. You went with that experiment.
Exactly. That lessens the burden. You know, what he's going to have in Indy that he never had in Atlanta since Devonta Freeman, the play action. And actually, Matt Ryan, when they made that run, his play action was one of the most feared things in the NFL because he's so good at it. But they haven't had a running back since then. And don't compare him to Kirk Cousins because, all right, Matt Ryan has gone places and won big games. Kirk Cousins has gone to nowhere.
I wasn't comparing
Matt Ryan to Kirk Cousins.
Let me ask this. So since that happened, so Matt Ryan's better than Josh Allen, right?
No, he's not better.
We can't compare. No, going off your logic, you just said we cannot compare Matt Ryan and Josh Allen, right?
No, because Josh Allen's went to an AFC chain. He's been places. He's won games, like important games.
Has he ever been to a Super Bowl?
He's led a franchise. I mean, being one and losing one. I mean, that's like, that don't matter.
Oh, now it don't matter.
Now it don't matter.
But it don't matter. But if you're talking about anybody else,
Kirk Cousins hasn't been to a playoff.
Wait. Hold on. I got one more, right? So basically, Matt Ryan is he's had more meaningful games than Aaron Rodgers, right? Because Matt Ryan's been to a Super Bowl recently. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been to one since they won the last time.
That makes no sense. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl.
No, let me ask you this. What's his name?
You're talking about recently, right? That's what you just said. Recently.
I'm talking about.
Now, let me ask you this. What buddy named Jim Kelly? Isn't that y'all god in Buffalo?
Hey
what?
Man,
he
watch your mouth when you talk about. I'll go to San Diego.
Oh man, huh?
I'll go to San. Well, watch what you say. Jim Kelly is a legend.
Jim Kelly. He been. You go to a Super Bowl. You go to Super Bowls and lose. It don't matter, right? Baby. 4 straight. It don't. But he lost, so it don't matter.
That was greatness. Tom Brady ain't never done that. Tom Brady never done that. He ran that AFC for 4 straight years.
You're right, but Tom Brady has 6, 7 rings.
I'm gonna prove my point right now. So Matt Ryan is better than Kirk Cousins and Tannehill, right?
Yes. Yes.
Who do you like coach wise? Do you like Vrabel or Frank Reich? I'll give Vrabel the edge on that.
I like Vrabel. I think the players.
I do.
He's like a player's coach. I feel like he's a player's coach.
I'll give him the edge, and we all agree Indy's defense is right now on paper. Right now is better.
Yes.
The offensive line is better right now.
Yeah.
We'll give wide receivers and running backs to
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's the only thing they got them beat on.
But sometimes that's all you need. Look at Kansas City last year. Look at Kansas City last year, right? The defense was trash. You bring it up last podcast. You said that the defense is still trash. It's a question mark if they're going to win the division. But look what they still had. They still had all the weapons. It didn't even matter. You see it in the NBA every day. Teams that don't play defense, but all you got to do is score 120 points. Yes. The mindset is all you got to do is outscore us if you want to beat us.
But Ryan Tannehill has to make that throw.
So, but
he was doing that before Derrick Henry went down. He was doing that.
Derrick Henry threw a touchdown against Baltimore to get them to the AFC Championship game. He ran and threw a touchdown. Don't tell me he's led this team anywhere. He every time they go to the playoffs, he's asked to throw the ball 20 times. And last time he threw 3 picks. Last time we seen him.
They got the number 1 seed in the East for a reason. The AFC.
They got bounced by Cincy, even though their defense got 10 sacks.
That was
he went to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. That's a different. That's different. That Cincy team was.
Come on.
Same thing with Cincinnati. Right? Since we're talking about whatever your point you're trying to make, right? Cincinnati's defense was good. You know, it was shaky at times. That secondary is leaky. But look at the offense, though. It didn't fucking matter. Mixon, Higgins, Boyd, Chase. You had to outscore.
Try and tell me that Tannehill is even in a category with Joe Burrow.
I wish you would stop trying to compare the quarterback. I'm talking about the offense. I'm talking about the offense. I don't know what point you're trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is the offense wise. I'm not talking about Tannehill compared to Joe Burrow and this one.
Because I've watched. So
look at the offense in Indianapolis.
Taylor, right? They had Tyrod Taylor. They had Sammy Watkins. They had Robert Woods. They had LaShawn McCoy. They had one of the best offensive lines in the league. But they had Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback, so we didn't go anywhere. That's what I'm trying to say. You can have all the playmakers in the world, but look at Baker and the Browns. No, you can have all that. You can have all that, but if you can't get the ball there, it doesn't matter.
But
where are
you're acting like there has
the ball to.
You're acting like there has not been teams that made it to the Super Bowl with a shaky quarterback.
Trent Dilfer almost took the Jags to the Super Bowl.
Trent Dilfer won one. Jake Delhomme that took the Panthers to a Super Bowl.
That's okay. So if you were to put money on right now, who you think is going to win that division, you're going to take Tennessee over the Colts.
So if I had to put,
I don't think Indianapolis can outscore them.
Yeah,
and I don't think the defense can hold them to enough.
Coin this right now, right?
All right, yeah, pin it right now. And next season, when the season starts, let's make sure we pull up these Indianapolis, this AFC South thing, or like that.
Pin that,
because every time Howard gets riled up about something, it never comes to fruition. So I'm on Tennessee. Then if he's all over Indianapolis, I'm on Tennessee.
Definitely. All right. So with Matt Ryan moving, Marcus Mariota was signed by Atlanta, which is I think we all can agree is just a bridge, just a wash, just who cares, right? But in that meaning that Baker is stuck because a lot of his options left. So what y'all thinking?
Oh, this shit is so funny because it's like, when did Matt Ryan get traded? It was like Tuesday.
2 hours later. It was like 2 hours.
No, I'm saying like what day? Because it was funny because that day there was something that came out that Baker was like, "Oh, I prefer to go to Indy." And it literally 2 hours later, like, Matt Ryan going to Indianapolis Colts. 30 minutes later, Marcus Mariota signs with Atlanta. And then, like, within that same time frame, Jameis Winston signs with New Orleans. The openings that were left.
And then right there, and then also Carolina said, no, we don't want them.
Yeah, and then Seattle hasn't taken any phone calls from Cleveland, I guess. They haven't picked up the phone because they know what it is. And I guess the only way you could get rid of Baker is if you
give up drafts.
With him, bro.
Yeah, because they're talking about they want a first round QB. Pick.
He went from being, I'm not to cut you off, my bad.
Yeah, no, you good.
Because it's just a funny situation because imagine the night before he put that cryptic message out, right? He was QB1, right? He was QB1. He put that message out. Fast forward, like not even a week later, he's QB3. Because they signed Brissett to be the backup.
Yeah.
You about to be free agent. That's what he's about to be. Free agent.
Yeah, they're going to have to cut him. Because Cleveland's still talking about they want a first round pick for him. Nobody's giving up a first round.
No one's doing that. Fuck no.
They're going to get a 7th round pick. Well, the problem is they want someone to eat his salary.
The thing is, right? Also this, right? You got to really reflect on yourself. If you trade for Deshaun Watson from Houston, right? So initially you think like, okay, they're going to need a QB. If they're going to take Davis Mills over you know what I'm saying? you really got to look at yourself like, damn, am I this bad? You know what I'm saying? Because he had chance after chance after chance after chance. After that rookie year, they bring in Odell and Juice, bring in Kareem, beefed up the line, signed Myles Garrett, Clowney,
Hooper,
Denzel Ward, all these dudes every year. Austin Hooper, Jack Conklin from Tennessee. They gave him all that money. Gave him every single thing. And we're gonna talk about another quarterback that's in that situation right now. You know what I'm saying? And hey.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a situation where it's crazy. Like, so is there any team out there that y'all look at and say, maybe they should take that shot on him?
Absolutely not. Why would I mean it's a head? He's honestly he's played himself into the situation where like I'm not comparing them because this is it's kind of like Colin Kaepernick got blackballed from the league. This is kind of what happened. Like he played himself into no one wanting him, even though Colin Kaepernick's better than Baker was. Like
ever was, yes, yeah.
So we're just gonna clear that air before I get destroyed. But I'm just saying he blackballed himself to where like no one wants to take a chance on him because they know it's just gonna start a bunch of drama. Because Baker's gonna go to the podium and say, I want to give my heart and soul to this team. I hate losing. I just need a chance. He's just gonna start problems wherever he goes. So no one wants that.
True, dude. And also, like, what is it? What was I about to say? Wherever he goes as well, like you said, right? He's gonna play on the heartstrings of the fans, right? So if he goes to like the Giants or like that, like he's gonna be like, I bleed blue and white and red. I'll die for this team and get everyone all riled up. Like, oh man, we might have a good one, And New York's probably gonna think, oh, we could fix this guy. He's still young, But like you said, he blackballed himself because coaches talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whether it's head coaches or trainers, people talk. You know what I'm saying? So what we know and what they know, like knowing him personally, you know what I'm saying? Teams will be like, dude, like at the quarterback position, like, no, I'm good. And especially after Malik Willis, after my man's went up there and did that, why would you take Baker if you could get a chance to get that? I take my chances with that than I would Baker.
He put himself in a bad situation because it's like, all right, all this talent that you just named, K-Wall, it's like you had all this talent, the best offensive line in the game. You had everything handed to you where you basically Joe Burrow getting them to a Super Bowl with way less talent than Baker had, as far as like defense wise, as far as the offensive line. It shows that Baker is not on the level of these top quarterbacks.
And bro, it's not like the guys that they bring in, they weren't just like names on the depth chart. Like these dudes were like in their like best playing form. You know what I'm saying? When Jarvis and OBJ went there, they were coming off like Pro Bowl seasons.
Jarvis, 5-time Pro Bowler.
Hooper was coming off a Pro Bowl season. Conklin was all pro. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Treader was a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Garrett was, they were pinning him to be the next great thing. Deep, like all these dudes were in great form when he received them. You know what I'm saying? And by the end of it, oh man, maybe Jarvis Landry ain't the same guy no more. Hooper, that was a waste of money. OBJ, he's washed. He's done. The only one that was still shining was the running backs because that's all they could do was run the ball 90 million times a game. That's the only successful thing they could do was run the ball.
Yeah, he put himself in a situation where, like, if I'm looking at him, why would I want him? He do not elevate any talent on my team. And if he go to a team with way less talent and he cannot even take the blame and put it on himself, it's like, yo, what is the purpose?
Exactly. Like, I'll take Jared Goff over him because at least Jared Goff will shut up and lose. Like, he'll just lose and be like, you know what? Sure. We gave it our all. We'll
they used to drag that man too.
Yeah,
you never hear anything out of him. Never hear anything out of him.
Hey, well, can I just throw a dig out real quick? Hey, Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl, so we can't compare Jared Goff and Josh Allen, right?
See?
Sorry. I had to because that shit you said earlier.
All right, so in the event that, say he may not get traded, say he just rides the bench for Cleveland, they tell him just stay home for the season, like how they did with Deshaun. Okay, so say he's out there. Who do you think? And you got to pick a team because, obviously, there's a high chance he doesn't get picked. But if you could peg a team to take a flyer on him, who do you think would?
Okay, so let me throw this out here. So apparently Pittsburgh has said if he get cut, they will pounce on it. I don't know why, but that is apparently reporting coming out saying that Pittsburgh said if Baker get cut, they will pounce on that.
For what? I thought that was the whole thing about bringing Trubisky in, and
I don't know.
Everybody knows Trubisky is a bridge quarterback, right? But
so Baker's the solution then.
hey, don't shoot the messenger, my boy.
I mean, but at the same time, I mean, Mike Tomlin. I mean, also, I don't like to like make excuses because with Baker, it's not like some dudes like they just have coach after coach and they just needed the right one. Baker, it's like a talent thing, but it's like a natural ability. You know what I'm saying? He lacks the natural ability to be good. Like, like not trying to be funny, but remember when Josh Allen first came in the league? Like the talent was there. Dude had a rocket. He was athletic or whatever like that. He just needed to be coached up. You know what I'm saying? And now you see the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? Baker, it's a natural ability kind of thing that you can't teach that. You can't, Now he does have a cannon of an arm. He can sling it. You know what I'm saying?
So the thing is, the best version of Baker is Drew Brees. That's the best version of Baker. Like if Baker reached all of his potential and hit all the marks, Drew Brees is probably that is what he would be. He'll probably be around Drew Brees. I'm not saying he is Drew Brees. Chill out. But size wise and what he should be.
I thought that's what she was getting at because of the size.
Yeah, no, size wise and what his game reflect around. If he did reach all his potential and what he was supposed to be at the first overall pick, he was supposed to be Drew Brees, basically. But obviously, he don't have the talent, to me, it's a talent thing and it's a decision making thing. So I don't know. I don't feel like when he going through his reads, I don't think he understand how much time he really has. So I feel like he get happy feet, and he better throwing on the run. But at the same time, I think he just
also. I think he struggles reading defensive schemes at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So he might just be guessing okay, well maybe this is what's about to happen, and then when it happens and it's not what he thinks, he just panics and tries to force it to somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if it's a single safety up top, if you got OBJ in man coverage or like that, and he's trying to squeeze it to three dudes to Kareem Hunt, you know what I'm saying, on the outside, it's because he didn't pick up on it. He didn't see that. And it showed it in that little mixtape that OBJ's dad put out where he was literally just missing the man wide open. You know what I'm saying?
When it came to him and OBJ, I don't know what it is. I think Baker was sitting here anticipating that OBJ was just supposed to read his mind. When OBJ is a technical receiver, he's going to run his route and he's a hand catcher. So you cannot just sell it over at him and expect him just to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna know. Nah, he's going to run his route. And Baker, when it comes to OBJ, he's not the type of quarterback that can just put it on the money 100% of the time. Yes,
well, OBJ said he's not opposed to coming back to Cleveland now that they got Watson.
I mean, but yeah, of course, with Deshaun he'll come, but he ain't going back to play with old freaking Baker.
But that'd be awkward if Baker's still on the roster. OBJ comes back.
Yeah, they're gonna cut him.
What's crazy? The thing you just said about Baker is he's not that good of an accurate passer. That was the one thing that they were saying when he was getting drafted. He's the most accurate passer out of this whole draft class. Baker is the accurate passer.
But dude, how many times have we talked about these we've talked about this board, the college heroes, you know what I'm saying? That go to the NFL, like the Tebows, Manziel, these college heroes. These dudes are oh my God, when they get to league, they're gonna set it on fire. It never pans out. Name me one dude at quarterback that was a college hero on the level Tebow, Manziel, and Baker. Because Baker was a star.
I was waiting for it. Cam.
Oh yeah, Cam. Okay, that's one. That's one though. How many college heroes are there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, but they say that's the one thing that they hit with all these smaller quarterbacks. If you listen to all the things they say about Bryce Young right now, is he's an accurate passer. Tua, when he was coming out, he's a super accurate passer. Kyler, when he was coming out, he's an accurate passer. Nah, I'm just saying that's what they say about all smaller quarterbacks. That I feel like that's just the thing about them.
Yeah, and then they get to the league and realize that it's played at 10 times the speed it's played in college.
Yeah,
and the guys are 10 times better than the guys you face in college. So it's like you said, it comes down to decision making. And I don't think when the ball leaves his hands, I feel like it's kind of he might get there, it might not, fuck it. But I don't think there's any thought process through it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he goes through his reads. I think he tries
And he don't want to do.
He does cowboy shit, but he's not good at it. You know, some dudes that like when they do that cowboy stuff, it's like, oh damn. Like I would take Heineke and a cow if I needed some cowboy shit to go down. I'd take Heineke over Baker.
Yeah.
You know, like
so pick your team, bro. What teams you going to?
This is like speculative. I already said it, but like I think maybe like the Giants, like if they move on from Daniel Jones, but even I think Daniel Jones is. I think with Daniel Jones, it's just coaching, because you've seen the natural ability is there.
Yo.
You know, he can when he's on, he can drop some dimes. They call him Danny Dimes. I don't know why, but he can throw some dimes. You know, and he's mad athletic. Yeah. He's just I think it's a coaching thing. He needs
don't hit that 10 yard.
I feel like Brian Dable might be able to get the best out of him. You know what I'm saying? And then they declined his fifth option, so he's gonna cook this year, and somebody's gonna throw a bag at him. So that's why I'm saying Baker might be an option for them.
Or like to me, it's hard because there's really nowhere where Baker can go. Like, you know what I mean? Because even like bad teams, right? A lot of bad teams already got their quarterback for the future. Like the Jaguars, they got Trevor Lawrence. That's their guy for the future. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't make sense for Carolina to go for it because we tried this experiment with Sam Darnold. I feel like if it was last year, if this happened last year, or if we never got Sam, we'll probably have plunged on it and tried to get him. But it don't make sense for us to try this back to back. Like it don't.
Even the Jets have their quarterback.
Yeah, the Jets got their guy.
I was like, oh, maybe the Jets, but I was like, even they got that dude.
Yeah, all these guys, and then like Houston. I mean, they say they're gonna ride with Davis Mills, so it's like,
what about Detroit? Maybe if they want to move on from Goff.
With Goff, he's a prototypical quarterback. Like you're not trading, even though he don't got the talent, but his talent and Baker's are very similar, right? They're on the very same level, right? And then, but Goff is bigger and he's more prototypical, and he proven if you got all the right pieces, he can get you there. You know what I mean?
I think my problem is I'm putting too much value on Baker's name, like it means something. You know what I'm saying? Out there, like I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh shit, Baker's out there. You know, hey, let's go grab him up. I don't think anyone's gonna be like,
because even bad team, a lot of bad teams got like young talent that they don't want to destroy. Like, and that's the knock on Baker right now. When, especially OBJ going and winning the Super Bowl, it's like, all right. So with Baker, he couldn't get the best out this guy, but as soon as he get to a competent quarterback, he looking like he's gonna be the Super Bowl MVP. So that's where the knock come in on Baker. Like he's not getting the best out of the talent that they surround him around. So you can't put him on a team that's ready to win now because, like the Colts, a team that's they're not like, I know we just had to talk about them in Tennessee, but they're a team that, you know, pretty much ready to win now. You can't put them there because he's not going to get the best out of the talent that they have.
Yeah. So they would regret it.
Yeah. And I think they went through that last year with Wentz. They assume. So this is a place, right? If they're not sold on Hurts, maybe the Eagles.
Okay.
If they're not sold,
but
then
I'd ride it out where it hurts.
I would prefer to give Minshew a try then.
Yeah, me too. I'd give
Minshew moving on to Baker, you know. But maybe Philly, that might be. But I don't really see a team where he really fits, you know.
I mean, there's one place that pops in my mind, and the only reason is because you match dysfunction with dysfunction, and that's the only place these two places go together, and it's Washington. That's a perfect place. Why not? They love dysfunction. That's the most dysfunctional franchise in the league. They will take a shot after him, guaranteed.
Even with Wentz on the roster.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Because honestly, even though they traded for Wentz, I feel like it's a rental. Yeah, even though they had to give up something, I think they're no, I'm trying to be funny, Kari, but I think they're gonna do like what the Panthers are doing right now is we are gonna just keep trying and cycling through the shit till somebody sticks. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, but if you're going to do that, right? If you're going to do that, the best place for Baker, right? If that didn't work, is probably Minnesota. You probably let Kirk ride this because wait, did they sign Kirk to a new deal? Yeah. Well, that's out the picture
because he has this year. Then they extended him next year. Yep. And then they'll probably sign him long term, depending on how these next 2 years go.
And that's not a dysfunctional franchise. Like they've got their head on straight. You know, they made good draft picks. They are going, like, as long as they're projected up, like Washington is going nowhere. Like they're going to be the worst franchise until they get a new owner. And that franchise.
I'll give Washington. They can draft their ass off with the defensive linemen.
That's
one
it.
thing that's one thing they can do right. But
it's because they have top 5 picks every year.
Minnesota, you're right. Whoever's making these picks is hitting to draft Thielen, to draft Jefferson. They drafted Cook, Daniil Hunter.
Like, all right.
They drafted Kendricks, Barr, Harrison Smith. Like they was hitting.
It's not a dysfunctional franchise.
So, and now we can go through every single team in the NFL, and y'all just say no. Y'all ain't got to give an explanation, right? We'll just go. We'll go through every single team in the NFL right now. Buffalo,
no, hell no.
New England,
no.
Miami.
Actually, why not?
All right, question mark on that one. We'll circle back and talk about that one. Yeah, maybe.
The Jets.
I don't know. No.
Cincinnati.
No, absolutely not.
Pittsburgh.
I guess. I
don't think he can. I don't see why they want him because he's not going to be able to survive in that environment. You got to have tough skin. You know what I'm saying? To play like Baltimore, Pittsburgh, like he don't have that. And they're not going to, especially in that locker room, them dudes will eat him alive in there. So I don't think so.
So he leaving the Browns. Baltimore?
No.
Tennessee?
No.
They just signed Tannehill has a contract somehow.
Yeah.
No.
Indy just said no to him.
No.
Houston?
No, they said
they love Davis Mills, so nah.
Jacksonville?
No,
you can't.
Kansas City?
Yeah, no.
Vegas, Chargers, Broncos. We all say no to all.
No.
Yeah, like the obvious ones, like don't even bring it up because it's not.
All right. So Dallas, Philly, freaking Washington. Y'all said maybe.
Yeah, I believe that one.
The Giants.
I think
I can see
a possibility. Yeah.
Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago,
definitely not. No.
Lions.
That's a.
The coach doesn't like players like Baker.
Yeah,
that coach is actually a good dude.
Yeah, he won't deal with that. I like him as a coach. Yeah, I honestly, if I was still a Cardinals fan, I wouldn't mind having Dan Campbell as my coach.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. No. New Orleans.
Well, wait, hold on. Go back to the Tampa Bay one. All right, so
no, don't you dare.
No, don't you. All right, so theoretically, right? So what if this is Tom's last year? Like if he wins, I'm pretty sure he might want to retire, right? Maybe not. Do they go with Blaine Gabbert? Because there's nobody else available. There's nobody else available. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun, that fiasco is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like if Baker's there, maybe. No? Or Daniel Jones. I think they would go with Daniel Jones over Baker if Daniel Jones is available.
Jimmy G will probably be out there. Their quarterbacks will probably be out there.
I forgot about Jimmy G. You're right. All right, go ahead. You continue. My bad.
New Orleans, Atlanta said no to him. Carolina said no to him. Nope. The Rams.
No.
Cardinals.
No.
San Fran.
No.
Shanahan, he limits the offense too much.
And the Seahawks.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was a possibility, but they won't answer the phone for Cleveland.
So really, out of all these teams,
what do you tell this man too? If he like hits up like so where are we at with this trade and shit? Like what do you tell him? Like, yo, nobody wants you. You know
exactly.
We are trying to do by you and trade you.
The media is telling him that every single day. The media is telling him every single day that he has no value.
That's terrible.
So
that's really bad.
So the only team that y'all really said circle back on is Miami.
Yeah.
So y'all
okay.
You'll take him over Tua.
Okay, so this is why I'm saying this, right? Tua is in the same position that Baker was in not too long ago, right? The only thing with Tua is he already has a short lease because they've already explored options before they got all this talent now, right? You know what I'm saying? Last year, they were going to pull the trigger on Deshaun Watson, but they wanted his stuff resolved, and that wasn't happening at that time. If Tua goes up there with Tyreek Hill, Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, Teron Armstead as his left tackle, and the defense, they didn't really lose anyone on defense except Van Noy, and he can't because you could still win games, but it could be not from we saw it with San Francisco. They were still winning games, but it wasn't because Jimmy G was out there, slinging it. If they feel like down the road he's gonna hold up the success of the team, maybe. But then you gotta look at like for what though? Like who else is out there? You know what I'm saying?
So this is the problem with Tua, right? This is the only problem with Tua. Tua,
Not good.
he's an alright quarterback, right? He's not great. He's not absolutely terrible, right? The only problem with Tua is Miami messed up and drafted him over Herbert.
God,
And they said,
dude, can you imagine?
and they're saying what Herbert is, and now they're regretting they're regretting their decisions. So
Just let that
Tua,
marinate for a second. Could you imagine? And you don't even have to pay Herbert right now.
yeah.
So you could bring in all these guys. Could you imagine Herbert with Hill, Waddle, Parker, everyone we just, oh my God.
Fact. So that I feel like that is the problem with Tua. They are sitting here upset about their decisions that they made. But moving on, you just named the name of a man that just got traded today. We're talking about Tyreek Hill, who is moving on to the Dolphins with a new $120 million deal, 72.2 guaranteed. In return, Kansas City will get 5 picks altogether, including a first round and a second round in this year's draft. What y'all think about this deal?
I mean, good for Kansas City. I mean, if they felt like, how many years did Tyreek have left on his deal before they did this?
One. This is last year.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, because once the trade deadline passed, he could walk out the door for free unless they tagged him. But I mean, his tag would be ridiculous. It'd make more sense just to sign him to a new deal. And I feel like Tyreek would have been like, I'm holding out. I'm not going to play until you give me a new deal. Yeah. So it's kind of like most teams don't do it this way. So abrupt, like out of nowhere, where it's like, all right, well, we're not going to do this fiasco. We're going to just have to trade him. Most teams just let it marinate all season and it becomes a thing. But I don't want to say it's a win-win for both because Tyreek Hill in his own right is one of the most dynamic players in the league, you know, regardless of what reservations you have towards him. I'm not talking about, you know, like his physical intangibles as like a big dog receiver, you know what I'm saying? Just his impact on a game. A team will go into a game and game plan around him. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw in that championship game or right there, or the divisional game or whatever. He single-handedly, they gave him a little 5 and out, and he took it all the way through the deep, like some backyards and that's his ability. You know what I'm saying? To do stuff like that. So yes, he's probably the biggest home run hitter in the league next to Chase and Jefferson right now. For Miami, it's good for Miami, but I feel like Tua, it puts the pressure on, like we just said, all right, that because if you can't be successful with all this now, then yeah, his days are numbered. But then at the same time, Tua's in a good spot because who are they going to bring in over him? Baker? You know what I'm saying? The whole Deshaun Watson thing is over now. There is no more like
Jimmy G.
For who?
Jimmy G.
But what's his name? Tua is like younger, so I feel like it would make sense to bring in Jimmy G. But they might be like, well, we still because
y'all
you gotta look. You gotta look. They just paid Armstead, right? They just paid Tyreek. They got the 2 corners paid up. The defense is all paid up right that. The reason they're able to do this is because they got 2 of their most important players on the team on rookie deals in Tua and Waddle. To bring in Jimmy G, you'd have to let somebody go. Because Jimmy G's making, for whatever reason, $28 million a year.
You know why. He had that great. His first year at San Fran was great.
No, Tom Brady got Jimmy G.
No.
Because he sat behind Tom. I'm telling you, the storyline was perfect. He sat behind Tom. They had the whole Brett Favre Rodgers thing going on, thinking that that's what it was going to be, you know. And he had his moment. He got him to a Super Bowl.
Yo, that first year that he got to San Fran, Jimmy G was looking like he was worth that money. It just ever since after that first year, because that's when he got hurt. You remember before he got hurt, he was looking like he was that guy.
But also, I think Tyreek's numbers most definitely will take a hit. His fantasy impact ain't like what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No. His numbers is not taking a hit because his bank account is going up. Them the only numbers that matter at this point.
That's true.
Them numbers are the only numbers that matter. He got a ring. He got a ring.
And the thing is, he lives in Miami too in the offseason. As soon as the season's over, he's in Miami the entire time. You know?
Them numbers, that money number, that's going up. That's all he cares about. So everything else. So all right, let me ask y'all. Do this put the Dolphins at the top of the East?
Yo, they still behind the Patriots. That's the craziest part.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. The offense is dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It looks dynamic on paper, right? We still got to see the cohesion, right? I mean, you got Bill. Bill will scheme that up, and find a way to make Tua do something he don't want to do or like that. And then you got the Bills. I mean, do you really trust Tua to go shot for shot with Josh Allen and the Bills? Even though they might have the more talented offense, position players wise, possibly. You know what I'm saying? There's them two are probably the best in the division as far as talent at the position, but I don't think they could beat the Bills consistently. They might sneak them one game. Because like you said, Howard, that always happens. Somebody makes an upset in the division once a year.
Let me ask y'all more of a realistic question, right? Do y'all think this team would have been in a way better place if they would have kept Brian Flores?
I like Mike McDaniel. No, I like Brian Flores, you know what I'm saying? But I like Mike McDaniel, his offensive mindset or like that. I think he could get the best out of Tua, and if Tua can't succeed with him, then yeah, I don't think he's it. Because Mike McDaniel is he's a good offensive minded coach or like that. And the guys that he have for like the defensive side, if you take the offensive, I can't figure out what I'm trying to say. His mind is good for offense, and then his defensive coaches they're all on the same page or like that.
All right.
Jesus.
Well,
spit it out, K-Wall.
So hats off to the Chiefs general manager. How he got what he got a king's ransom for Tyreek, which, hey man, they need it. The Kansas City, if you look,
and they didn't take any salary back either.
That's what I'm saying.
Usually you see like salary with it,
needed this. And like if you're any of the top teams in any division, right, looking at the Super Bowl, right, and you're sitting there and someone says, hey, Tyreek's not playing with Patrick Mahomes anymore, he's playing with Tua. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that all day. Yes. Like, yeah, the Chiefs are going to go use their draft cap and they're going to get help on defense because that's where most of their holes are, right? But like Tyreek goes to Miami, he maybe gets them one or two more wins. They're not beating out Bill. I'm sorry, like you're not going to, because I've had the luxury of watching Tua play for a decent amount. Bro, this man is not good. He is captain check down, and they went and got someone that is literally Mr. 40, 30. He needs downfield. That's where he hurts you, is down the field. And Tua does not do that. Like that's one part of his game he doesn't do. He doesn't drive the ball down the field. And like on the goal line, are they going to use him? No. I mean, we see what happens when you try and use Tyreek on the goal line. I mean, in the playoffs, it's the reason they didn't get a field goal to win the game at halftime. Like I am actually baffled at this. And then like the cherry on the top,
dumbfounded.
The cherry on the top is the Dolphins general manager doubled down and says, I'm going to make this dude the highest paid wide receiver in the league. Devontae Adams? No, that's not you. That's Tyreek Hill. We got our man. You kidding me?
You know how this works. The person that get paid last is the person that get paid the most. Like
I don't care.
Because we did not see Deshaun Watson for a whole year, and he's getting $230 million. And yeah, she's worth it. Don't get me wrong. But Aaron Rodgers is a two-time back-to-back MVP, right? Which to me says, hey, you should probably be the highest paid. But he's not the last person to get paid. He got paid before Deshaun, so Deshaun got paid more. He got paid significantly more. Like I probably wouldn't have, But that's just how it works in the NFL.
But you, as a GM, you got to walk to the table and at least tell the agent, like, hey, Devontae Adams can do. He's by far the best receiver.
But you're not getting Devontae.
I'll give you a little bit less money than that.
You got to give
right below him.
But you also got to take into account, right? Miami is probably desperate to win now. You know what I'm saying? They want to win, but you see it all the time in sports when teams get desperate. All right. I mean, look at baseball. You know what I'm saying? How desperate the Rangers are to be good. They gave over $500 million to two players in their infield. That's how desperate teams are in major sports to win. So if it's like, this is what it's going to take to get Tyreek Hill on our team. And Mike McDaniels was probably like, oh my God, he's probably creaming himself knowing that he wants to come to Miami because Mike McDaniel can probably use him like he used Debo. All right, that last year.
Debo's big. Like he could take it.
I know that. I'm saying that's where his mind is probably running. Like, yo, I could use Debo. I could use him like Debo. I could use Waddle like that. But I was gonna say something about the Chiefs with the picks they got, right? So the first thing I was thinking about, because I just looked it up online, what they could do, right? You said they need defense, right? They could sign OBJ, right? if he wants to come to Kansas City. They could get OBJ, right? You got Juju, OBJ, Mecole. You still got Kelsey. That's a formidable lineup,
Still
right?
have Robinson too.
He walked. I think he
Oh, he
went
did?
to he walked, and Brian Pringle walked. Brian Pringle went to Chicago. Jamarcus Robinson, I think he went to Philly or he went somewhere else. I don't know, but I saw it today. You could take those picks, right, and go get somebody like Daniil Hunter, who's been in trade speculation this whole offseason, right?
Yeah.
That solves your defensive end problem right there. And then you just have to hit on your draft picks.
Honestly,
Because they were able to, they were some kind of way, they were able to scrounge up the money to fix the line. Then you just go and invest in defense. You can never have enough linemen, invest in linemen. You got 2-3 running backs, you know what I'm saying, that are all interchangeable. Then none of them are studs or anything.
Yeah.
But they're all good in their own right. So I mean, they're gonna be okay as long as you got Pat Mahomes.
I was
And
gonna
like
say.
the more I thought about it today, you know, because I was working out and I was like thinking about like who is more important to them, Hill or Kelsey? And it's like, yeah, Kelsey runs, you know, he probably catches linebackers and stuff. And I mean, he's a man amongst boys in that regard. But I mean, Kelsey can move the chains for him. And then, I mean, you got Mecole. Maybe they feel like Mecole could overtake, not be Tyreek Hill, but he could play that role of what they need is that burner on the outside. And then they got Juju. And then you bring in the OBJ if you need to, or you draft Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, one of these receivers in this draft. You know, as long as you have Pat Mahomes, as long as you have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, any of these dudes.
Yeah, that's
it don't
the
take
first
much.
step.
It don't take much to be good because, like we said, once you get in the playoffs, nothing matters anymore. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
That is obviously the first step, right? That's obviously the first step. But when you look at what other teams are doing in that same division, and you take out a Tyreek Hill, who is pretty much, if you think about it truthfully, Tyreek Hill is unguardable, right? He gives you that extra dynamic to your game, right? So you can't just line a JC Jackson on a Tyreek Hill and expect JC Jackson just to lock Tyreek Hill down the whole game. You know what I mean? The only person that in that division that is apparently just goated is Pat Surtain. But truthfully, you know, there's going to be some type of regression this year.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you can't jam him at the line, Tyreek Hill, and he makes a move, I mean, 2 steps and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? No matter how tall you are, how long your legs are, I mean, his feet are, and he's gone.
Like, how are you? And you know this firsthand. You're saying good for the Chiefs because you know that just helped you out. That's the only reason that you're sitting here saying good for the Chiefs, because this man burnt you last year, and you know that now that he's gone, that opens up the opportunity for the Bills.
He burnt us, but here's the thing: he burnt us, and number 17 still went down the field, and you know what I mean. Like, so, like that he didn't like. Whatever, that game, put it behind us. We win. Whoever wins the coin toss wins that game. That's fine. What I'm trying to say is there's very few quarterbacks. Yes, Tyreek is extremely dynamic, and he's one of the most dynamic players we'll ever see. But there are very few quarterbacks that can actually take advantage of that, how dynamic he is, right? Because you can't throw him across the middle. There's things you can't do.
Wait. That's how the game went to OT. Was it
you can't do crossing routes. Like you can't cross them in front of and linebackers because they're just gonna run them. Like
that's how they use him though. They cross them and they use him in the running. They use him across the middle because he can outrun them
over the top. But you can't do those short little 3rd and 2 crosses.
I get what you're saying. You make a point, right? It takes a certain quarterback with a certain arm strength to use his abilities to their advantage. That makes sense. You're right. I don't know. And I guess and 2 is left-handed, right? So I guess that actually like matters because like the way the ball comes out is different coming from a right-handed guy. The angle is different. You got to like something they were talking to Jay Wald and he's like, you know, he's never played with somebody left-handed. So it's like, you know, you catch a ball like this, but when he's left-handed, you got to like do something. He was talking on the NFL Network about it. Like it's completely different. It's like everything's flip-flop. The way you run your routes is different. Like,
to me,
for $30 million, he better figure it out.
The way that Tyreek played, he can do pretty much everything. And he's not a guy that just lets the ball go. He's not Waller that just leg over his head. He's gonna go up and try to get it. So even if Tua over his
head, you got to do all that.
We know what it is.
But even Waller.
Even you're gonna say he's gonna overthrow it. That man will underthrow it before he ever overthrows.
No, but I'm just saying, even if he
I know where you're about to go with this.
No, what I'm saying is if he cross, right, and it's a little bit over his head, Tyreek don't just let it show. He go up and try to get it, right? To me, what happens is if OBJ would have kept playing how Tyreek Hill played, OBJ career would have probably went a lot. Like he would probably been when he was in New York. The problem that happened with OBJ is OBJ stopped wanting to do the little underneath routes and all that. He just wanted to go deep.
And then the injuries started piling up on top of that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
So the way that Tyreek played, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be just fine with Tua.
Now, do you think they took into account that, he's 28, right? He relies a lot. I mean, he's gifted. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, what makes him so special is his unworldly speed. Do you think Kansas City looked at it like, okay, so 4 years, right? He'll be 32. And that fourth year, right? He'll be making upwards of $28 million. Do we really see that as a smart thing to do for the organization right now when they're already cash strapped, though? You know what I'm saying? Before this, they were cash strapped. Now they got some money now. I feel like that they took that into account as well. And I feel like Tyreek was pushing either I sign a deal or I'm gonna hold out. And if he holds out and you can't get him to come back and play, he'll leave for free in the offseason. Unless you want to tag him. But if you tag him, you're basically paying him what Devontae Adams is getting. His tag is gonna be dumb expensive.
Like, no, definitely. We spoke about this before because when I've said like the Chiefs had not gotten better, and eventually that these guys are getting older. Because Travis gonna probably be like 33 this year? Somewhere around that.
I think he is 33, to be honest. I think he's gonna be 34.
Yeah, like he's like up there in age.
But I mean, tight ends like Travis kind of age well.
Yeah,
I mean, he's kind of aggressive. He's a violent kind of player, but he should age well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like with Travis getting up in age, Tyreek eventually that speed cannot last forever. Like it's not gonna be some big decrease. Like he's not gonna go from a 4.2 to a freaking 4.8. It's gonna probably be like a 4.2 to a 4.4.
Travis Kelce, he's 32. He'll be 33 once the season hits October.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so a lot of their stars are getting up there in age. Yes, I understand the notion of if you got Pat, you're fine, but I still don't see how they have gotten better in this offseason. But hey,
after the draft, you will when they start getting corners and they start sewing up that defense a little bit. I mean, they'll be all right. They will be all right. I promise. Hey, I've watched enough football to realize if Aaron Rodgers can do what he did for so long and win with, I mean, I've watched him throw 3 touchdowns a game to Randall Cobb when he's terrible. I've watched quarterbacks make receivers a lot of the time. Like they do. And Pat Mahomes, whoever the next guy in line is, that's why I'm saying like Juju, like he's going to make Juju look really good again. He's going to make everyone else look really good because that's Pat Mahomes. He's going to be able to make these throws.
And Juju fits their timeline. Juju's like 25 or something like that, or 26. He fits with Mahomes' timeline.
So you think they're sending him past because he only on a 1-year deal. So.
Depends on how it goes. I really wish they would have did like a 2-year deal with a team option to give him some flexibility because if he goes up there and he snaps, because Kelsey's probably wide receiver 1, even though he's a tight end on this team, he's wide receiver 1. So that's what made Juju so special in Pittsburgh was, you had Antonio Brown getting all the attention and Juju was able to just clean up on all the other stuff. So if that's the case in in Kansas City, he's probably going to come in. He's probably going to want, his value, which they don't do this for free. So, it's in his own right to ask for that. But
we also haven't talked about Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid is a genius. True. He will figure it out. Like he had Jeremy Maclin. Remember Jeremy Maclin? He had Jeremy Maclin looking like Tyreek-esque, not Tyreek, but Tyreek-esque in Philly. And then when he bring him back to Kansas City afterwards, like this is what Andy does. Like and
then they had what's his face? Jerick McKinnon. They had him lining up in the slot. Like he's created enough to make it last. The thing I'm worried about with Kansas City is the defense and what they do with this collection of picks. You know what I'm saying? If they could, like the rest of the teams in this division, they've all beefed up their defenses. Yeah, they got decent offenses, good offenses, and studs everywhere. But everyone in that division, from the Chargers down to even the Raiders now, their defenses are pretty stacked. You know what I'm saying? And for the Chiefs, with no Tyrann Mathieu gone or like that now,
they got Justin Reed.
Yeah, Justin Reed.
All right,
but yeah, just the.
Yeah. So well, it's been a great show. I feel like I learned a lot. I learned that there's no more comparing Josh Allen to Joe Flacco, Jared Goff. And
you could make a case that Nick Foles is better than Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, Nick Foles also. So I feel like that is a great thing that we learned in this show today. It's been a great one. I'm your host, Kari P, signing off for Howard and K-Wall. This has been the Stay in Balance podcast. Y'all have a good night. Peace.